Hey, we are back on the Real Deal Landman Show. This is a very special episode.
It is.
Because we are live in Drew Hopkins' personal studio.
This is, I mean, if you look around you, like, what is this scream besides opulence? Like, this is Landman Opulence 101, right?
I don't even know what opulence means, to be honest. I got to say, though, your self-description was devilishly handsome. I'll give you that.
I appreciate it.
But you're a lot shorter than I thought you would be.
Absolutely. It just depends on the shoes I'm.
And like I don't know. I was expecting something. It's not what I thought it would be.
It's all been shown these last 20 years. And like, it's all about like getting the right angles, and whenever I enter a room, I want people to be like, oh, that really tall guy. But most of the time I'm just standing on a chair.
Is that why when you walk in a room, you're like, oh, no need to get up.
Yeah. Don't get up. Don't get up.
Don't get up. Like,
Yeah. No, it was really cool whenever I found out that you were going to be in Oklahoma City. And so just to kind of give everybody a little bit of the background, why are you in my office right now? What have you been doing? What has led Jerris around the country and to end up here?
Around the country is pretty accurate. It's been a busy last couple of days. So I just flew in from Virginia this morning. So I was out there doing some work. Had a cool story happen. I was in a courthouse in Virginia. And so for a long time, people will ask me, and they're like, what do you do? And I never answer what it is that I do because nobody has any idea what that is, right? Like it's, of course. So usually it's this really long description and tirade about what it is that I do. And at the end of it, nobody still knows what it is. But recently with the show, I've decided I'm going to start saying it. I'm a landman. This is what I do. I'm a landman. So I was having this conversation, this courthouse, and it came out that I was a landman. And afterwards, this like sheriff's deputy guy, he came up to me privately and he goes, so this new TV show, he's like, is Billy Bob based on you?
Say, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, really.
Say the only thing that wasn't accurate, if it was a 1-for-1 reenactment of my life, was the plane that got destroyed was just a slightly off, a different color. Right?
Well, that one wasn't that one a prop plane?
The one that got hit?
Yeah.
No. I think it was a jet. I'm pretty sure it was. Maybe not.
We'll have to.
Yeah.
Right. I can know. No. Let's see. Was that prop or was it jet? Because if it was a prop, obviously, huge discrepancy from real life.
Yeah, we will have to call that out.
Huge discrepancy. All right, Drew, you brought somebody else in here with us today.
I did.
Make an introduction, if you will.
So I'll tell you what we want to do is this is Joey Barnhill. I've known Joey for quite a few years now. Joey spent time at Chesapeake, as we all did, as so many of us did in the industry.
True. As my dad would say, you can't swing a dead cat without hitting somebody who worked at Chesapeake.
Good point. Yep.
It's a very accurate. But worked at Chesapeake for a while, did appraisals for a long time, and now he's a broker at Jack Fork Land here in Oklahoma City. I thought Joey would be a good one to come on because he's always been really vibrant, really pro, the landman background, comes from that landman family of your father.
Correct.
Was landman, and even a tie to our last guest of Larry.
You've got like a 6 degrees of separation.
We do. Like this is the Kevin Bacon. Larry Kosho is the Kevin Bacon of our show. And so your father was Larry's boss.
Correct.
Is that right?
Yes.
The Monty Barnhill that was referenced, that Larry said, that
is them.
Gave Larry his Crown Vic to go drive 80,000 miles in a single year. I'm still fact checking that one, but yeah, 80,000 miles in a year. So that was your dad.
That was my father. I guess brought everybody in a meeting, asked everybody who's familiar with farms, who's been around farming. Larry raises his hand. You're my surface landman. So yeah, that's him, man.
So Joey, is your family like originally Oklahoma, or where do you guys come from?
So yeah, my dad, born and bred, lived in Oklahoma City his entire life. Actually grew up just, I'd say, east of Bishop McGinnis, kind of that neighborhood over there. My mother's from all over the place. see, Michigan, Alabama, and then Ardmore. So yeah,
Very cool.
yeah, man.
All your key states.
All
Yeah.
Michigan, Alabama, and Ardmore.
And Ardmore.
All go together.
Wherever Uniroyal Tire went, that's where my mom went. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then your dad, who did he start out with?
So he started out with Getty. That was his first company he worked at. And then he went to Hunt, Lead, and then he went to TXO.
Okay.
And then
And that's
and now he's
started.
and then
Yeah.
independent. So yep.
Not bad. And so you went to college where?
He went to Colorado School of Mines first, and then he transferred to OU,
And
PLM.
You went to
So I went to first. I went to Northeastern State, played golf there for a year. Then I went to OU,
nice.
Northeast. Is that the one in Miami?
Tahlequah.
Tahlequah. Okay.
Common misconception.
Okay.
A lot of floating the river.
Yeah.
In Tahlequah.
Yeah.
A lot of floating the river in Tahlequah. So you moved to Oklahoma City, and was it being raised in that environment that kind of drew you to be able to get into kind of the land profession?
A little bit of an outlier. I actually did accounting.
Okay.
Started off as an accountant. Did that. Started helping my dad out with some minerals, things like that. Did a internship with a law firm. Actually helped them out with a bunch of oil and gas stuff. And basically my junior, senior kind of led me into, I think I kind of want to do some oil gas. So
Making dad proud, right?
yeah. And a lot of people being like, why did you just not do energy management? So, but yeah, that's how I finally ended up, I guess, going the land route.
And was Chesapeake the first stop there?
It was the first stop after a few runs, I guess. When I first got to school, 2008, trying to find a job, and I decided, hey, I will go up to Michigan and work for a brokerage. And it's like, hey guys, like, I'm going up to Michigan, got a project, it's gonna be great. Like, it's gonna be fantastic.
There are some Michigan stories.
So
Under relations, right? During the
Drew has the best story. If we could have an entire podcast on just Drew's like interrelation stuff.
We could. Joey's absolutely lovely wife worked in our owner relations department. She did a fantastic job. She was always so overly courteous to the callers that were coming in from Michigan, from Permian Basin, from
Louisiana, another one.
and being able to, she was fantastic.
I will show you, but like one of her favorite calls ever was, I guess somebody called her and was like, yeah, where's your guys' office at? And she was like, oh, Oklahoma. And like, oh yeah, that's the place you can just watch your dog run away for like a week at, right?
You can. No.
Yeah. So she was like,
right? Yeah.
She's like, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I will transfer you to the next person.
We had people show up at our door once they figured out like anything that was online, like an address or anything. We would get calls all the time from the operations center at Chesapeake of, hey, royalty owners have showed up. They're in this building, and you just have to go over just on the fly. She would always volunteer to do that. She was always really good with them, and that was always a nice thing for me because I was like, oh my gosh, okay, so somebody else can do this,
Yeah,
and I don't have to run right through it. So no, she did amazing. But you started with Chesapeake Land, or you went to Michigan to be a broker.
Yeah, so I went to Michigan, and it was like, guys, I got a job. I'm leaving. I'm out of here, and packed up my truck, driving an F-150. Packed up my truck with everything I owned, like TV, PlayStation, like everything. I got everything a guy that would need that's like 22 years old. So I drive from Oklahoma City all the way up to basically Traverse City.
Okay.
And I'm there for like 5 days, try to get a hold of the project manager, never get a hold of them. And basically informed, the project's been shut down. So I end up having a going away party and a coming home party in the same week. So that was kind of my first experience doing the traveling brokership, and then after that, I went and I worked at Jack Fork for a little bit, and then I got hired on Chesapeake, and I worked in, I guess, what we would call, I guess, the title shop of Chesapeake, doing mineral title, and after that did EMP and the Marcellus.
So lots of courthouse visits.
Lots of courthouse visits. Like, if you watch the show, like what I was talking to Drew and Jerris about, like a lot of this stuff, if you were going to watch somebody from a title land standpoint, like, which would not be very entertaining, watching somebody doing stand-up title to courthouse, and then
riveting work.
Riveting work, and then bringing cookies maybe to the clerks to get preferential treatment for the copier, or get indexes done faster. So
I did go down to Love County once in a white shirt, and I was looking for this tax book, and it hadn't been touched in literally like 80 years. And I had to climb up on this counter, reach up on this shelf, and 80 years worth of dust
just
got all over my white shirt. I mean, that's a TV show episode right there.
I honestly would, like, I know each one of these episodes, they say costs, like $1.5 million or something to produce.
That's insane.
For one full 55-minute episode, I want title screen, and then I just want like the slow, like 2004, 2005 in, like, turning the pages of the books.
Yeah.
Maybe even back whenever it was.
There you go.
Picture
with the legit digital camera.
There's a handful of images out there doing work.
Look at it. No, that delete it off. Do it. No, delete it off. Like, that's what I want for 55 minutes, and then it just goes roll.
Or, I mean, if they need to, they can walk out of the courthouse to the parking lot and see their focusing, and then watch their F-150 just explode. And then it's to be continued. We'll find out why the truck exploded.
Now that's the sort of Landman TV that I feel like.
Yeah,
that's hard.
I would pay double my subscription for Paramount Plus if I could watch that. It's relive glory days.
That's right. Well, so and I'm not saying you are still in land. You're still Jack Fork land. Like, throughout this whole process of learning about the ins and outs of the industry. Working so closely with your father, who was just an absolute legend of the industry, and working so closely with so many other Oklahoma, Texas, so many landmen that are spread out now that know your dad, Larry, so many other people. Has there been anything that you have seen along the way, or anything that has been really resounding for your career? I mean, you've done it this long.
Yeah.
And what's been one of the things that has really kept you with oil and gas, kept you with land, and kept you excited?
Or who have been people that have been impactful?
Yeah, that's perfect too.
Oh, I mean, my father, Bob Brock, our owner, has been another one. Everybody worked at Chesapeake. Leslie Grofen, Jessica Tompkins. Those are kind of like, my first, like, managers. Jessica was my first, like, when I did EMP. Leslie was my second after that. But yeah, I think the funnest part of all that is, like, drilling down, like, into the units and stuff like that, like leasing, talking to people, like, that's probably the funnest thing you can do.
Like the being able to talk to the landowner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise you're just clacking behind a keyboard and that's it.
I always liked that too. My grandparents were Enid, Oklahoma, where we have that tie of Plainsman. My grandfather owned a lot of land, and I know the conversations that he had over coffee or over breakfast or something like that in Enid with somebody that was trying to lease, or somebody that was trying to get some sort of easement or something like that, to be able to work with the land. From the landowner side, he was always excited for that, because he felt like he was, the main person of the show.
Yeah.
And he loved getting to meet new people. He loved being able to work those different, work through the different documents, being able to figure out, like, different different things with them, and then really forming a relationship with them. That was the main thing. And so I know it's depicted in all different ways. I know on the show it's going to be depicted all different ways, but it's a huge part of the business.
Right.
You know,
I mean, I haven't dealt with like the cartel side of things or anything like that, but
give it some time. Give it some time.
But there's all sorts of crazy, fun, like, people you just meet, like it could be just a royalty owner calling about a check or something like that. And then they will go full blown story into how their mom and dad or somebody in their family was related to the mafia. And then there's tomato cans buried like in this backyard or something, old car trunk, like, and you're looking at the phone, you're like, man, we've been on the phone for quite a while here.
Yeah.
But I will sit and keep listening. But yeah, there's just people from all sorts of walks of life, and it's interesting, man. I mean, there's never a dull day talking to landowners.
That's exactly,
or anything like that.
That's exactly right. No two are the same for sure, and it's part of the business that I think is the biggest draw and the biggest, like, the stories that Jerris and I have been able to share with each other and everything. It's definitely joy.
So, did you go to RE Plus?
I did.
Yeah. So, for those who haven't been, what was your impression of RE Plus?
Great show. It is a trade show.
Yeah.
You will find everything there, from the solar panels that go on the solar sites to the bolts that go onto the solar panels that go on the sites.
What about the size of it?
Huge. Massive. People from all walks of life. Like, it's actually kind of tiered out, I guess. It's like there's like a level up here that's like the highest level, I guess you can pay for it. There's the mid level where everybody's at, kind of trade show walking around, and there's like a lower level, and these things are like, they're bigger than Nape sometimes. Like, when it's just it's in Anaheim. It was in Anaheim this year.
Nice.
It's been in Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas, Anaheim. It's like 30,000+ that show up.
In like all the the booths with all the tech and stuff like that's going on.
So,
like,
obviously talking about Chesapeake, the double-decker Chesapeake booth.
I remember it.
Yeah, it would look like a lemonade stand at RE.
Yeah, you have complete build outs of houses, things like that. I mean, it is.
I believe it's pretty insane.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
It's cool.
And so
it could be all for a battery, like that could be it. Yeah, like that could be it. Like,
so you were there for Jackport?
Yeah, we went down there, hung out, met some people, met with a few clients down there. So, but the scale and size of that trade show is enormous. Like, it's massive, and it's another place too where you kind of are like, talk to somebody, you're like, well, I'm Landman. They're like, well, what do you do? Right. We kind of have to put it in layman's terms, like, we secure the land, like, but they more or less understand, like, we deal with the underwriting, like, to deal with the risk mitigation side of things, like, before you put your solar side in, to ensure there's no way that somebody can come and just bulldoze the entire thing. So
absolutely.
So yeah.
Does Jackport go to Nape too?
We do.
For the show's sake, I want to be like, I wonder if they're going to show some Nape convention on the show, and I'm like, absolutely not. I know that. Like it's not worth saying. But as far as Landman go, like, I feel like Billy Bob should
make an appearance.
Yeah. I could see Monty Miller walking around the Nape type deal. I don't know that I see Tommy Norris at Nape.
No, yeah, I don't know. He doesn't fit.
Tommy Norris would be recognizable, though. He would stand out. Like, Monty Morris would maybe just he would fit in. There's 1,000 maybe Monty Morris.
No, there are.
So what would you say you have in common with Billy Bob's character?
Oh, well, this is G-rated, so probably maybe his mouth on some situations.
Okay,
but
and
that's an excellent way of putting that.
What did he say in episode 2? He was like, I gave up drinking and Got one cracked for the show.
You give me 6 Michelob Ultras and you give me 6 whiskeys, and let's see if you can tell the difference. Yeah, that might be it. Yeah,
that is too funny. So what do you? So as we kind of shift to the show, what are your thoughts so far? What was your expectation whenever you heard it was coming out? And 3 episodes in, what do you think about it?
Like seeing the cast first off, like Billy Bob Thornton, John Hamm, Demi Moore, Michael Pena, R.I.P. It's kind of one I was sad about because he's an awesome actor. Very bummed out when that happened, by the way.
Cooper was too. Yeah, very bummed. Entire crew.
So, but yeah, I mean, like, and the thing I think is that, yeah, there's like an opportunity here. Like we're just on like kind of the Billy Bob side of things.
Yeah.
You know, there's an opportunity to explore every one of these characters. We barely, I mean, even just the Monty character is super interesting to me to kind of see behind that whole situation where that would lead. So I don't know, maybe Taylor Sheridan's thinking that's something for like additional seasons, but I think after watching Billy Bob Thornton and Goliath, you know, how good he is in that. I mean, this is just, he's made for this role.
I agree with you. Definitely agree with you. And like the thing that we've talked about before on this, and it's fun. Like it's super, super fun to look each week. And like Monday morning and Tuesday morning, how cool is it that like on LinkedIn and on everything else, we see so many posts about like our profession.
And we've got extremes going on right now in terms of like what people like.
Oh,
it's love it or hate it type deal.
But I mean, that's the world that we're living in right now. Like nobody is
there's no one in the middle. Yeah. It's everybody's one side or the other.
Absolutely polarization. And so I'm pointing people out most of the time. I remember I will read the LinkedIn messages. Yeah, not reading them this show because people are going to know exactly who it is. But it's the same people that said after the show 1 and 2, there were so many people that were so mad, like so big mad about showing the profession in this light. And then the second that Billy Bob Thornton, has this long deal about like how many shares did you see of that windmill speech? Which we've got, he says, our whole lives depend on it. Hell, it's in everything. It's in the roads. It's on the wheels of every car ever made. Tennis rackets, lipstick, refrigerator, antihistamines, pretty much anything plastic. Now, okay, so at this point, now, Jerris is saluting this. Well, okay, so
whatever goo gone, you can't get off your walls. Guess what? That's straight up petroleum product. Like,
how much have we heard? How much have you heard? That exact same, like, I would love to know whenever they were writing that, who they were
pulling from,
because that is like lifted straight from what we heard so many times.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so every single one of you that I could point out that hated episode 1, all of a sudden was just like what Jerris, just saluting him, being like, show this to all your leftist friends and all this stuff. And like, best show I've ever seen. So like, they have to fictionalize. This is how television works. We have to fictionalize something. And we were talking about it a little bit before. No one wants to see the opening credits and Joey to walk into a courthouse and to go through title documents and take pictures of.
Yeah, that's no fun. No one wants to see that.
I mean, we'll watch it. I'll watch it. It's on. But to finally see and to go back to his speech, like, he did the roads, the wheels, the tennis rackets, the lipsticks, the refrigerators, the antihistamines, pretty much anything. I think it's Rachel or Rebecca is the lawyer that's with
Yeah.
Like,
the girl from Midland.
That was halfway through. I would have been like, if I was listening to that, I'd be like, yeah, you've made your point. You got it. And
you just said all this in the truck.
Yeah, you said it in the truck. It's like your cell phones, your artificial heart valves, any kind of clothing that's not made of animal or plant fiber, soap, hand lotion, garbage bags, fishing boats. The fishing boat.
The boat, yeah.
That was a little bit out of the spectrum. I wasn't ready for the fishing boat, but I was like, I mean, all right, that's fine too. But it goes to show, like, the they're giving that good side. They gave a great side of the wind turbines.
Yeah.
They're talking about solar.
Absolutely.
I like that. I thought that was really well done, and that has revitalized that
was genius.
space. I didn't see any American Petroleum Institute commercials this time, which maybe it was just that first couple episodes was what they had paid for. I'm all about the education in the industry. I'm all about that.
Yep.
I want people to be educated, but I also have heard like there's been more people, and this could be totally wrong. I've heard more people have Googled what a landman is, has signed up to like either take courses or become like to try to become a landman.
The club is getting lots of inquiries.
Yeah, which how cool is that?
Yeah, no, it is.
How stinking cool is it? I absolutely love it.
Yeah,
it's a pretty cool deal. So, yeah, what do you think?
So I'm looking. You put in some show notes, and I think a lot of them are just hilarious, and we got to go through them. So, take us through some of your notes that are here.
Well, I'll say before that there was a quote to where Billy Bob was like, "A landman's job is to make sure the field guys are safe and do their jobs to get the oil out of the ground." And that was the one part where I was like sitting on the couch and I was like, I mean, maybe.
So he was on a late night talk show in the last week or somebody. I think it's Colbert. And he was asking, what is tell us what a landman does. And he's like, well, he's basically the guy between the CEO and the field guys and telling them what to do and making sure that all the operations are handled.
They're like, yeah.
Fraud.
Maybe my mom would be more proud of me if she knew that's how much responsibility I actually had. And to the LinkedIn credit, I have seen a lot of people like where they're talking about the Colbert deal, and they're like, "Hey, he's doing a good job of like putting us out there." And a lot of people are saying that exact same thing. They're like, "Hey, my job hasn't been that interesting, but now people are like, hey, I see your profession is being put out there," and like it's kind of given some people like a little bit of like a boost or whatever. So I totally dig that. I think that's really cool.
How many rattlesnake heads have you cut off in your job?
I've seen. I will be honest. I have seen one, but I've never killed
in your job, like while working.
With Chesapeake, I saw one.
Okay,
with Chesapeake, I
got none,
and that's
I got none.
Since you did kill it, so you were the scared lawyer that just stood there going.
No, I was like the scared lawyer that was screaming at the top of my legs and running. Hey, she was frozen.
At least you ran.
I ran. No, I think that's the only rattlesnake I've ever seen in real life. So
I've never seen one.
Really? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I've never seen a tornado either.
I haven't seen a tornado either.
I thought in Enid they had like the rattlesnake roundup. Is that not?
No, that's
where Romano's National Park is, right? Where's that?
There's two of them that I can think of.
I know that's
a state away.
Like Winoka, do they have one?
I don't know. We're gonna
and then
stop this. And this is gonna be like a 25-minute discussion that we're gonna take off.
We're just gonna start naming every town in Oklahoma. And then we'll edit out all the ones we got wrong, and they'll be like, "Is it this town?" Absolutely.
Yeah.
Smartest guys in the book.
That's the one. No, everybody tunes in for that whole review, and all we do is talk rattlesnake roundup.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh man, but I mean, so we're gonna give the episode rundown. So I mean, just to really quickly go through all of it. Tommy's wife, who is an absolute peach, comes to Midland.
Allie Lorder, man.
She flies in on the company plane. Is this common practice to where
his
daughter did?
So it's independent, so I guess.
So here's the thing. Was it the company plane, or she said she married Rich the second time, and so was it Rich husband number 2's plane? Because it could have been.
The daughter got to ride in though on a private.
This is the second 25 minutes.
No, for sure. No, I will. If we want to do a 5-hour episode of this, we can, because meticulous notes is what I take.
Yes. Okay.
Right.
Yes. No, seriously.
So, Cooper, the son, he doesn't want to see her. The daughter's super happy because they're basically
good actor, by the way. Him. He's good. He's good. He's been in a lot of stuff. He's a good actor.
He's no Michael Pena, but he's growing on.
No.
So Cooper, he's at his bunk. He's at the bunk houses, and he gets jumped by the cousins of the guys that he brutally murdered.
did work.
Which, you know, they he had nothing to do with that, but they obviously are holding a grudge. And then all of a sudden we're like,
Very upset.
Cooper is he's now showing the talents that he gained, and that is absolute MMA domination.
Yeah, I no clue that my boy wrestled at Texas Tech. You know,
So,
grappling dudes.
Completely just outs one guy, has a gun pointed at him, doesn't care, just goes for it. Now it turns out that's going to be his new team. So, and I'm the prediction reader. If we put that up, who does the guy producing this whole thing?
What?
The producer that we've got.
Lonnie.
Lonnie.
Oh,
Lonnie. Okay. If you just,
I thought you were talking about the Landman TV. You're talking about our producer.
Well, yeah, I'm saying.
Yeah.
I was ready to throw Taylor Sheridan out there. So
No, you're talking about the podcast.
If right up in the corner, Lonnie, if you put up a thing on the prediction notice, my prediction notice is they hate him right now, and we're talking about Cooper's group. Cooper is going to get in a situation later in the season.
yeah, he's gonna save everyone.
To where, well, you said so he will save everyone. I think it's the other way. I think his life will be in danger, and it's these guys that are going to come through and save him. Because we got friction. Right now. We got a lot of friction.
Typically, when a gun is drawn on somebody, you would say there's friction.
There's, just I don't know. I hate to see it. Yeah, I hate to see that.
Okay, I do have another bone to pick about. So, ex-wife comes to town. They go out for a nice family lunch deal. The country club.
Midland Country Club.
Yeah.
Definitely not Midland Country Club, by the way.
In the summer, mind you, does anybody voluntarily eat outside in the summer in Midland?
No. And the other thing, discrepancy alert.
I've been there and I haven't done it.
The discrepancy alert that I would say is even laying by the pool. Fine to lay by the pool, but the fact that you are not absolutely drenched in sweat,
right?
And people can say it's a dry heat or whatever. Yeah, it's a crazy heat.
Drenched in sweat, followed by a slight muddy film from the haboob that blew in after you were soaked in sweat.
That's right. No, for sure. Not to nitpick, right? Not to nitpick. No, but that's a very good point. Very good point.
Okay.
We've got the new crew, ex-wife Angela and Ainsley. They're tired of not being embarrassing to Billy Bob, and so they decide to immediately start drinking. And that's just unfortunately for Monty, it's on his bill, and unfortunately for the Midland Country Club, they're serving someone underage. But now,
by the way, Monty got that phone back without a scratch on it.
After he threw it, you're right.
I bet he has a whole drawer of
it. He definitely.
Because no scratch on that
when he threw it.
Nah, that was just just like throwing a coffee cup out there.
Right. He's got a whole drawer of them.
So we that kind of led us to that part in the show where we got to the windmills. We got to Rebecca is the lawyer. That's right. And so Rebecca is, and I can't tell if Rebecca is pushed to be a love interest or I think with Billy Bob as a role, I don't know that he has any age restrictions on her.
I can't put anything out of the question with that guy, man.
Yeah.
I think Dale deserves some love.
I adore Dale. Dale deserves happiness above all else.
Dale, and the engineer and the lawyer. Why not?
What's the lawyer's name? Because
Rebecca.
The guy, the older guy.
The guy living in the house.
Alan, old lawyer.
Those are good scenes with him and that whole sitch. Showing restraint. Yes.
Definitely. Yes. For sure. Cooper, the son, he goes to the house, kind of against better wishes, maybe, to show respect for his fallen comrades that he was so very close to.
How did he attend Texas Tech and have zero spice tolerance on his food?
Boy, that's a good question. That's a very good question.
Think about it.
I mean, throwing tortillas at the football game.
Yeah.
Hot shots before tequila shots. No,
he can't take anything.
Can't take anything. And then that's another one of those that I don't understand where it's going to go. But it was.
Yeah.
The ex of one of the guys that got it.
Weird.
Yeah, it was odd. We were crying on a shoulder here.
Crying on a shoulder. It was a rough deal for him. I really I hope that doesn't develop into a love interest angle. I feel.
Yeah, let's just say we leave that one alone.
It could be too, but
It's weird.
I don't know. We'll
Knowing Taylor Sheridan, this could be subplot of season 2. There's no terror.
It definitely could. They will absolutely. I mean, again, not spoiler alert, but if you're listening to this podcast, if we know insider information, but absolutely they will become a love interest, and they will get. it's assured. We kick back to the pool. Funny scene of Billy Bob picks up his ex-wife, throws her in the pool. I like that. I thought that was funny.
It was good.
The daughter says she wants to live with him, not with the mom. The mom said earlier in the episode that she was only there for the day and she was going back, obviously too overserved at the country club to make that happen. So
It's too many margaritas. Alley Larder.
They all go back to the house, and then she goes full Varsity Blues #2, like sequel of Varsity Blues 20-something years later. We knew it was going to happen, didn't know it was going to happen, episode 3, but the vows of matrimony mean so very little.
So very little. And, there's a lot of things that we worry about on the public persona, on what they're going to think about the quote-unquote patch. And I think it's fair to say that there are some people in the patch that do respect marital vows.
And
I'm one of them.
I am too. I mean, you're on wedding or marriage 3. You're on 2, and I'm on 4. But I mean, that's respect, is what that is.
Don't say
that.
That is. Don't say that. No.
We have respect for our relationships. No, I just looked at it as, when we talked about she married for money the second time around, and evidently that guy's got some money to take care of her and the kids. But then he's expecting, I'm assuming a lot. He's expecting her on the jet, maybe his jet, to turn around and come back home. Probably hadn't received a text or anything, maybe tracking the phone. I don't know. Sees that she's at the house where the daughter is, which is also the ex's house.
You have thought a lot about this.
There's not a lot of good that's going to come of that. And Angela is just like, throw it away all in a second, whatever. And if
Still love you.
if these two crazy kids can't make it, I don't know who among us can. That's what I wanted to say. We've said it on the last couple episodes, and we'll say it multiple times more, is there's that level whenever you fictionalize anything. When you fictionalize anything, you're going to have to, every one of these guys, the showrunners, are looking to be able to say, what's going to inspire ratings? What's going to get us to our second season? What's going to get more eyes on the product? It is 1,000% evident that the wife and the daughter are put there for a specific purpose.
Right.
We might find out.
We may find out. My hope is that he inspires both of them to become landmen, and they are both in the field at the next blowout.
Okay.
So
all right.
Prediction meter number 3. That's what I'm doing.
So speaking of fictional liberties that are taken in these shows, just a heads up for people who are not familiar with the landman profession. The landman is usually not the one conferring with the CEO on whether or not to, quote unquote, kill the well.
That's right.
That's correct.
And for a simple workover on a multi-billion-dollar operations,
the engineer.
Yeah, I know that the CEO is going to be the one that is stressing out over whether or not to work over the well.
No, absolutely. Yeah, these are the liberties.
Right? These are the creative liberties.
These are the creative.
Yes.
I was thinking about, my wife and I were talking about other shows that the people that were the subject matter were like immediately the aftermath after those shows. They were absolutely enraged. And the ones that we came up with were, I don't know if anybody has seen The Crown, which was about the British royal family. The British royal family was absolutely, they were like, no, thank you to all of this. Okay. And everybody was just like, oh, that's okay. Just calm down because we enjoy the show. Friday Night Lights, if you guys remember that one, that was,
It's a good one, man.
The show or the movie?
Good one.
The
show.
Actual show.
Yeah.
So a lot of high school coaches nationwide, right after that started, came. I mean, they were fighting they were like, this is not the experience that the kids have. This is not what's going on, on the field behind closed doors. Like they were very, very mad.
A lot of good people come out of that. Too.
I've had a lot of friends that work here in town in medical, and they were able to, whenever we checked with them, when Grey's Anatomy first came out, that was a really big deal. That was
that one. Yeah,
Grey's
still is. It's still running.
And they were like, still.
Yes.
Is it really?
Making new
still on. It's still on, man. Yeah. Well, long stint.
A very, very long
lifetime.
And that's one of those things of they fictionalized it because there's no people that are doing surgery in the same way that they're doing surgery. And also, and I say the people that I know here in town, they were like, oh my gosh, the unrealistic portrayal of like everybody in the doctor's office, everybody like dating everybody and all this stuff. And I was like, well, that's not true too. And they were like, it's kind of true. Yeah, it's a little true. And then the last one was The Sopranos, which was, I don't know if you've ever heard of that show. That was a little hit for a while on HBO. But it was all up in arms at the beginning of Italian Americans were like, this is an absolute, travesty that they are portraying.
And that's pre-Twitter, stuff like that. Yeah, that's
pre-Twitter was very open to being like, you'll enjoy it. We're showing it every week.
Sure, The Wire would be causing waves as well with how that was done.
Exactly. So I would end that by saying, do you think so far we're 3 episodes in? Is that right?
Yeah.
This is 3, and it's supposedly a 10 episode season. So we've got a little bit left, but as we're going right now, the trajectory, what do you give odds of it making a second season?
So the insider info that I've heard is that everybody has signed on for 3 seasons.
Okay, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Now that doesn't necessarily mean that they'll make 3 seasons, right? Like, but I think that's at least the plan.
That's cool. Yeah, I did not know that.
It seems like his shows, he is able to do that, like with Taylor Sheridan. So, but like we talked about earlier, there's definitely an ability to explore a few of these different characters. So like I don't know, season 2 could be like a whole exploration of Monty Miller, like if that happens, which could totally be interesting.
Or a resurrection of Michael Pena.
They better do. You know how those shows do like throwback episodes?
Really,
yeah,
really bums me out.
Equals of Michael Pena.
Even me and my dad were talking. He was even bummed about he just watched like what is it, Million Miles Away, and he was just heartbroken by what had happened.
He just vaporized, and it's like
that was it. I gotta get over it. But it's I was like, Dad, Michael Pena's this episode. He's like, well, he wasn't in it for very long, and it's like, sorry, man.
It's absolutely hard to lose the ones you love. And that was a tough pill to swallow for sure. But that's exciting. Possibly 3 seasons. Like I absolutely like it. We hope that we are with you for all 3 of those seasons. We like doing this podcast. We like being able to get together each week and talk about this stuff. And so far, we've said it before. We are not trying to take over Joe Rogan's market share. We are just trying to, I don't know.
But we're putting a dent in it.
We're absolutely.
Definitely. Okay.
He's feeling it.
So last week we had to make up some reviews.
We did.
So we just shared text messages from your mom and my wife. And we're like, best show ever. You guys are awesome. This week we actually have real ones. We have some real ones that are out there. And
they're from my computer. It's like,
not just LinkedIn comments. Like we've got like these are actual reviews that people put out there. Yeah,
that's nice.
So I really like this one. I think this was on Apple, and the name is I won't say the name. It might discredit it. But anyways, he says, "Hey, I really enjoy listening to you guys and what you think will happen on the show. I came here because of the show, but your insights pulled me in even more. Can't wait to learn more."
That's awesome.
It is awesome.
I mean, as much as I want to joke around with it, that's really cool.
And then we got a couple on YouTube. One was entertaining, keep them coming. And yes, I share the same thoughts on Billy Bob Thornton and Bad Santa.
Hey,
so someone else was in your
that. Yeah,
I'm telling you. Yeah, you heard
even the Oklahoma State wrestling analogy.
Yeah,
like that was good too.
No,
so I agree with that.
Got another one. Good work, boys. Thumbs up. And then obviously, I mean, we've already talked about him a bunch on this one, but there was some love out there for Kosho as well.
Heck yeah, he deserves it.
Proud to call Kosho a friend and mentor. I owe much to the time he invested and continues to invest in me. And then there was another one that said, one of my favorite guys in the business, total gem.
Oh, yeah. Like, absolutely. It's every bit of that is deserved. I'm talking about Larry, not just about us. Ours is deserved. Ours is, and we will, the promise that I make on this is that we will attempt to remain humble. You think?
I am easily the most humble guy I know.
You always have been.
Yeah.
You are the most humble.
I am the most humble guy I know.
Tell me that.
I ooze with humility. It's just oozing out of me, humility.
And after the show, when you texted me 3 times, did you see how humble I was today?
Did you see how humble I was? Drew was so humble today.
I will give you the normal thumbs up. Text and response.
Yeah.
No, we really appreciate it. So that's awesome.
Other big news, just a little over a week into this, we're at 90, as of this minute, we are at 99 subscribers between Apple, YouTube, and Spotify. So if there is a single soul that could go ahead and give us another subscriber so we can have the even 100, nothing will happen.
Century marks not
other than we'll be able to say we have 100 and we're going for the next milestone.
We talk about the next milestone most of the time, and in the day and age that we're living in with the internet is when you're like, we're one away. There's going to be at least 10 people out there that are like, I'm going to unsubscribe. Just show these guys on that stuff. Yeah.
See, I was thinking somebody would say, somebody else will get it.
But
yours is even more pessimistic.
You know exactly that's going to happen. Next week, we're going to be like, so we got 52 subscribers.
We are so happy. Now we're at 52. I hate all of you.
Oh my gosh. Well, on the hating all of you note, I just want to say we hope that you all have an absolutely fantastic Thanksgiving holiday.
Yeah.
I hope you guys do and your families.
Y'all too, man.
And safe travels, Jerris. I hope we get to do the in studio between you and I more often. And
we should talk about that.
We should, and we should take it on the road too. That was one of the things that we were kind of talking about.
Yes.
So potentially maybe a Houston trip, maybe a Midland
trip. Yeah, we would need a little bit of space, not much space, but a little bit of space. We could set
so live at a sporting place. See how that goes.
That'd be pretty cool.
There would be some rattlesnakes.
I was saying poolside at the Midland Country Club was where we needed to be for one.
MCC is nice, man. I mean,
it definitely is. Well, thank you, Joey, for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It's awesome, man.
Really,
I appreciate it, man.
And so
great.
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody watching. Thank you so much. And this is the Real Deal Landman podcast. We look forward to talking to you again down the road.
See ya.